I came up listening to his music, his group's music from the legendary Geto Boys, and this being the 50th anniversary of hip hop, this was like a perfect time. And I want to introduce my man 100 Grand, the legendary from the Geto Boys, Mr. Wille D. Wille D. Wille D. Wille D. Geto Boys. Geto Boys. Woo. That was my shit. You guys would be considered maybe because, they give credit to the Southern rappers. They give credit to Louisiana, the Lil Waynes and the Master P's and the Outkast and all of that. But you all were way before them.
Yeah. Well, all those guys do deserve credit. But
of course, I love them all.
Yeah, but we did open the door for them, though.
Hell yeah.
And they've admitted that. I've heard them say that, so yeah. It's just that the people, the bloggers, a lot of the bloggers, they really don't know music. They really don't know their history past last month, and so they just say whatever's popular, who's ever popping, who's ever trending at that moment.
Yeah.
This is why I thought it was important to do the Geto Boys Reloaded podcast.
Yes. I did that. I had the pleasure of being on that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we appreciate you.
Yeah, last year.
It was dope. So I looked at the podcast thing like, okay, this probably ain't gonna last a long time.
Right.
But I compared it to making records. When you do a podcast, the average podcast lasts about 1 hour.
Right.
The average album lasts about 1 hour. If we do this podcast, however many podcasts we do, will be however many extra albums we have out there. So I was looking at it like content.
Right.
Like information and instructions, more the same of what we did when we made the music. Just giving people information and instructions and talking about real stuff. So we're at, I think, right at 100 episodes.
Oh, okay.
So the way I look at it, we had 7 studio albums, so now we got 107. We'll have 107 studio albums by the end of this season.
Okay.
So when I look at the whole podcast thing also versus music, I think about when the podcast, when we debuted at number 1. Podcast came out at number 1.
Wow.
Yeah, we started at number 3 in the beginning of the day, but by the end of the day, we had pulled in front of everybody.
Wow.
So we had we had a number 1 debut. But I looked at it very much like making records, because the way this music thing works and the way this top 5, top 20, top whatever works is that, and that's in music, sports, comedy, everything. Yeah. The way it works is, the longer you've been in the game, the more you drop lower off the list. The longer you've been in, right. So that's why, because see, they got to make room for the new guys to help sell the publication, because there's younger people who are reading this stuff and buying this stuff and watching this stuff. So they have to add enough new guys in to keep people interested, just like when they do an awards show.
Okay.
The awards show could be about celebrating the Temptations. Yeah. They're going to put a bunch of new people in there so they can get that viewership.
No doubt.
Younger viewership, right? That younger audience. Mm-hmm. So for me, the podcast, it was important to do the podcast so that if we have an extra 100 albums out there, that buys us another, 5-10 years or so in people's top 5, top 10, top 20, whatever. Because if you're not trending, they're not hearing about you, they're not thinking about you, because we're not putting out new music.
Right.
It's not going to be any more Geto Boys new music. So we're not putting out new music, so that means that the more time goes by, the more we drop lower off the list.
Yeah.
That was a time when they were saying Geto Boys is top 5, you know.
Yeah.
Some people, you know, top 3, whatever. And this was just 2 years ago or so.
Wow.
I think it was it Rolling Stone?
Rolling Stone?
Was it Rolling Stone? No, it was Billboard.
Oh, top 100.
Billboard got Geto Boys at like, out of hip hop groups, at like number 23 or something. I can't remember the exact number, but I know for a goddamn fact, there ain't 20-something groups better than Geto Boys.
Right.
I know that for a motherfucking fact.
Right.
We got catalog, bro.
Yeah.
We ain't just did it one album. We didn't just do 1 or 2 albums, 3 albums. We got 7 of them out there, and we got bangers back to back.
No doubt.
Oh, some of those groups that they got before us, you know, they got some hits.
Yeah.
But they ain't got shit like us. They ain't fucking with GB like that. We back to back to back to back to back. You put any Geto Boy album on, you can listen to that shit front to back.
Yeah.
You ain't got to skip nothing. We did our shit, bro.
Yeah, I remember.
So ain't nobody fucking with that.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody fucking with that consistency.
Were you before NWA or at the same time?
We actually, okay, so that was a few versions of Geto Boys, right?
Okay.
The very first version of Geto Boys was 86. That's before NWA.
Yes.
That was a song called Car Freaks. It was a single.
Okay.
And then the first incarnation of Geto Boys, a different lineup came and they put out an album called Making Trouble, right? So that album was right around the time of the NWA album, 87.
Like
that was right around the same time.
87. 87.
Right
okay.
up in that same time.
Straight out of Compton?
Yeah.
87. Okay.
That was like 87.
Wow.
We put out, now, the most popular lineup for the Geto Boys, you know, the lineup that sold all the records. Myself, Scarface, Bushwick Bill, and Reddy Red in the beginning.
Reddy Red was the fourth member?
Reddy Red was the fourth member. He was our DJ. Reddy Red is responsible for our sound. Yeah, he's the one who gave us our sound.
All the Scarface excerpts.
That's Reddy Red.
Yeah, that was like...
That's Reddy Red was before his time. And I heard so many producers jack Reddy Red shit over the years.
Yeah.
Reddy Red he's never mentioned among the greats unless I mention him.
Was he a low-key guy? Did he not...
No, it was...
Is he still around?
Reddy Red was around at a time when producers only produced their own groups.
Reddy Red. Oh, that's why he's red.
That's Red.
Okay. Is he still around?
Red died.
Oh, okay.
And Red was from Jersey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How did you guys meet?
Yeah. Well, Red came down to Houston.
Okay.
And, you know, hooked up with Jay Prince.
Okay.
Who owns Rap A Lot Records.
So Jay's been around that long.
Yeah, I didn't know Red before Geto Boys.
Okay.
He was already a member. Red was already a member. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Red.
You said something about how you got put together, you guys. Scarface, and Bushwick Bill. It was like somebody formed you guys, right?
Well, I initially signed as a solo artist.
Okay.
I didn't want to be in a group. I joined the Geto Boys as a favor to Jay. Because Jay said, look, man, you know, I'm going to do this. I want you to be in the Geto Boys. This is after I signed with Rap A Lot and did my solo album already. I had already finished the solo album. And I wrote a couple of songs for the Geto Boys' new album.
Right.
And he was loving it. And everybody around him was loving it. I wrote Do It Like a Geo, and I wrote Let a Hoe Be a Hoe.
Yeah, I love that one.
Yeah. And
wait. We used to all be like, you gotta let a hoe be.
Yeah.
And you used to wear that hat.
Yeah.
You used to have that hat.
And and we can come back to the hat. I'll tell you about that hat.
That's all I see is that hat.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta let a hoe be a hoe.
Yeah.
God dang, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I signed as a solo artist, and then I finished the album. So, one day, Jay comes to me. I don't know why people say one day. Of course it was one day. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody ever said 2 days.
2 days.
2 days, Jay
1
came
week,
to me.
Jay. For 3 hours, Jay came.
Yeah, right. So Jay comes to me.
Yeah.
And he comes to my house and he's like, yo, man, I got an idea. Man, what you think about being in the Geto Boys? Oh, no. I said, no, I don't want to be in no group, bro. I don't want to be in no group. Because this is after I wrote the songs and everybody was loving the songs.
Yeah.
I took the shit in a different direction.
Right.
You know? And he was like, they was loving that shit. And he was like, man, and Jay was like, man, why don't you just be a ghetto boy? And I said, no, I don't want to be no ghetto boy. So after, some back and forth a little bit, he was trying to plead his case. And I'm saying, nah. Jay say, do it for me.
That's like some mafia shit.
It was like some mafia shit the way he said it.
I'll give him an offer he can't refuse.
Yeah. And you know what? It was an offer I couldn't refuse.
Oh, right.
And here's why.
Okay.
He was investing in my career. He was investing in me. This investment, in my opinion, was going to save my life.
What were you doing before then?
I was working, but I was working. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, anybody that got a problem with me being a rapper, you do not want to know what I would have become if I had not, if rap would not have worked out.
Right.
Because I was about getting some money. I was about breaking that poverty curse. I was not going to live a poor life.
Right.
That was not going to happen. And I wanted kids, and I knew I did not want to bring kids into this world and put them at a social disadvantage by not having any money. So I was going to get to that money.
Yeah.
So I was going to get some money.
By any means necessary.
I was going to get that money.
Yeah.
So Jay gave me a lifeline. And I thought about that when he said, do it for me. I was like, what would I not do for you? Man, this dude is, putting it down for me, investing in me. I felt obligated.
Yes.
So I said, okay.
Yeah.
And so maybe a couple weeks later, and then he tells me also, he says, I got this guy named DJ Action on the South Side, and I want y'all to be in the group. You, DJ Action, and Jukebox, who was one of the original members
of the Geto
Boys.
There's a lot of motherfuckers.
That's what
Christ,
the
Jukebox?
lineup changed like 4 times.
Okay, so there's Jukebox now. Jukebox just showed up.
It was going to be me, Brad. We was going to be a 3-man rap crew, and then we was going to have our DJ as the 4th member.
Right.
That was going to be. So he comes and picked me up to go to the studio.
Yeah.
Brad is in the car, who was DJ Action, going by DJ Action at the time.
Scarface.
Yeah. He was
shit.
He was DJ Action at the time.
DJ Action.
DJ.
Okay.
DJ Action. Bushwick is in the car. The van. Bushwick was just hanging out.
Bushwick Bill.
Just hanging out.
So is this in Houston?
Yeah.
Bushwick's from New York.
Yeah, but he found his way to Houston.
Some kind of way.
Yeah. So he was just hanging out as Jay's friend, right?
Yeah.
Red is in the van. Jukebox is in the van. Brad is in the van, and Brad's producer Beto is in the van. I'm being introduced to Brad and the producer for the first time. I'd already met Jukebox and Bill and Red, because Red produced my album, my solo album. So me and Red had a relationship.
Yeah.
Going forward, we go to the studio the first night, and Jukebox quit the group.
That night?
He had some personal issues.
Okay.
So after we finished, he quits the group. After we finished recording that night, he quit the group. The next day, I'm hanging out. I'm in the studio. I'm doing some writing on the side. Red is over there making beats with him and Beto making beats. Bill got a 40 ounce sitting over in the corner, rapping Public Enemy. Yes, the rhythm, the rebel. Without the pause, I'm doing my level. This is what's happening. So a light comes on.
You trying to sneak his voice in?
No.
Yes, the rhythm, the rebel.
That's on.
Without a pause.
But
That's
that's
right, my level.
But that's how the script I remember it being. Like,
Right.
like
And-
I remember.
And you loved it. He was.
Yeah, I was always able to impersonate Bill's voice, do a pretty good impersonation of Bill's voice. That's what, But anyway.
Yeah.
So a light comes on.
Uh-huh.
I said, man, let's put Bill in the group.
Oh, shoot.
Now, Bill is seen on the cover of the first album, of the first single and the first album.
Yeah.
But he wasn't a rapper. He was opening up for the Geto Boys dancing. He was opening up.
Oh, he was a dancer because
Yeah.
he's a small person.
Yeah, he would open up, hype the crowd up. He was a hype
little
man.
midget.
He was hype the crowd
Yeah.
up, right? And so he was on the cover for aesthetic purposes. He wasn't a member. He didn't even have a contract.
Oh, wow.
He didn't have a contract. So, but he's in the studio hanging out.
Yeah.
And this is why, this is where opportunity meets preparation.
Yes.
Because he was in the right place at the right time. He was just hanging out. And I saw him rapping and the light comes on. I said, man, let's put Bill in the group. Everybody started laughing. I said, see, that's what the world gonna do until they hear this gangsta ass shit I'm gonna write. So Jay was like, man, what do you think, Bill? Bill was like, I don't know, but I can try. I took Bill to the kitchen. We sat down at the table. I asked him some personal questions about himself.
Yeah.
And I embellished it with what I thought it might be like to walk in his shoes as a little person. And I came up with Size Ain't Shit. 3 days later, Bill recorded it. That's how he became a ghetto boy. That's how Bushwick Bill became a rapper. Anybody tell you anything different is a bold-faced lie.
Godfrey.